I'm going to show you at the range shortly about the modularity of these guns, and we're going to put some rounds through them. But really quick, I just want to show you the differences in the 43 and the 43X and 48. I'm just going to take one of these out of the picture since these slides are virtually the same, or excuse me, the frames. And we're just going to concentrate on the differences in the 43 and the 43X. And it's very simple. The 43X is a little bit thicker in the grip. And I'm going to get my calipers out here and I'm going to show you the measurements. The 43 has a raised portion right here by the slide release slide lock. And it's on both sides. All right. And essentially all Glock did was take that raised portion and take it right down the side of the grip. So nothing else really changed. The forward part of the dust cover, the slide, the length, it's all the same. The inner workings, spoiler alert, are exactly the same. It's been confirmed by Glock that it is safe to take these slides and frames and interchange them. I just want to show you the difference really quick in the grip, which is not significant. But if we measure over that raised portion of the 43, 1.048, now watch this. If we go over the raised portion on the 43X, 1.036. Although a slim margin, the 43X is actually skinnier than the 43. When the Glock 43X and the 48 were released earlier this month, the #1 question I saw in YouTube comments and forums were, will they function with the 43? Can you Frankenstein the guns and mix and match the parts? Yes, you can. There are other videos already out there online showing it. I'm just going to give you my take on it so you guys just have another point of data. Confirmed also with Glock. They are definitely interchangeable and it's not unsafe to do it. As a matter of fact, the only part that's not interchangeable between the guns is going to be the magazine release from the 43X and the 48 to the 43 because the 43 is thinner, all right? That's it. Every other part and component will work with the 43 as to the 43X and the 48. So let's say you already have a 43. I've already broken these guns down just for the sake of time. This is a popular gun, been around 4 years. People love their 43s. They like the concealability and the short grip. And let's say you put a Turan +1 on it, or the Pierce like I have. You've got 8 rounds in a carry gun, which is definitely not bad. But what if you want a longer sight radius? What if you want to take the 48 slide and you want to put it on your 43 frame? All of a sudden, you've got a highly concealable grip with +1 capacity here, so you've got 8 rounds in the gun with a long sight radius. The question is, will it work? Let's find out. That felt really nice. That felt really good. I like that configuration. I could see making that a carry option for sure. If you already have a 43 and you can find yourself a 43X or 48 frame, you essentially have a 43X. So maybe when concealment isn't quite a premium and you want round count, you've got it with the 43 slide on a 43X frame. She works beautifully. 43X, even though it's not. Sight options for the 43X and the 48. The question has been asked, will the same sights from my 43 fit on the 43X and the 48? As a matter of fact, the same sights from the 42, 43 will fit on the 43X and the 48. And I've got proof right here, as this is my packing slip from Glock. And if you look at the bottom portion, there's my front sight, Ameriglow front night sight, 140,000 width, 180 height. And that is for the Ameriglow bolds. 2 ordered, 2 received. If we move on down, the rear night sight, black serrated square notch for the Glock 42, 43, and 48. 240,000 height, 165 notch. 2 ordered, to receive. So there's your confirmation that the same sights for the 42, 43 will fit the 43X and the 48. But just for kicks, I'm going to do a quick measurement for you with calipers just to show you the height of the two guns. The sights, there's 196.5 thousandths. And if you notice in my first shots video, the point of aim, point of impact was the same for both of these guns. 198,000. So definite positive proof, not just with measurement, but with Glock proof on paper that the sights for the 42 and 43 will absolutely work on the 43X and the 48. One of the more popular accessories for the Glock 43 as well as other single stacks is going to be the Streamlight TLR-6 weapon mounted light. I happened to pick this up on eBay for 60 bucks. It's the light and laser version. It was listed as used, but I can't find a single wear mark on this thing anywhere. I actually bought it just to do this video with, thinking that cheap, I can flip it and resell it. But as good a condition as this in, and the fact that I do like it, the reviews are good on it, it's light, it's durable, I may end up keeping it and I could have an application for it. So let's find out if it's going to fit on the 43X. The best way is when you pop this latch off, make sure the battery doesn't fly out. Take it apart. The best way I found is to come from the opposite side and hold it. Push this side on and latch it. Now, if you were actually going to carry this, it's got hex screws that hold it on right there. It is pretty secure just with this latch, but you definitely want to put those screws on. And I probably would recommend maybe a little bit of blue Loctite that's not permanent. So there you go. Proof that the TLR-6 does in fact work on the 43X and the 48. We're going to talk briefly about holsters that are designed for the Glock 43 and their compatibility with the 43X and the 48. You're looking at one designed for the 43. I think you can see the stamp. Glock 43. This is one of Harry's. Check them out. In the description down below is a link. 10% discount code, capital P, capital O, capital E. So make sure you use that and get 10% off your order. He makes ridiculously nice holsters. Yes, I took the wedge off of it. I was tinkering and playing around with it. It's getting ready to go back on though. Check his holsters out. This one is designed for the 43. Obviously, it's going to fit since it's designed for the 43. But let's check the 43X. And the 48. Beautiful. And since the frames are the same, we obviously know that the 43X and the 48 width are going to work. But here's the deal. The difference in the length between the 43X and the 48, you might be saying, how can that holster fit if it's designed for the 43? What Harry does as part of his design is he makes the tip of the holster a little bit longer. And what that does is once you get a loaded magazine in the gun, it keeps it from feeling like it wants to fall forward out of the waistband and still allows you to have a nice ride height to get a full grip without banging your knuckles into your belt. So it's a really good design and it works and it definitely is effective. Now, it's pre-ordering also these OWB holsters. I'm going to give you a sneak peek there. Pretty cool design, hugs really close to the body. Down the road, you will see a review on that. So I'm carrying the 48 right now in the holster you just saw on the bench from Harry's, and it's virtually undetectable with a regular pair of jeans on and a thermal, more form-fitting shirt by design. And just to show, with a great holster and a great belt, you can conceal that big, giant, long grip that the 43X and the 48 have. See how nicely the holster tucks back into the body there with a concealment wing as well as the wedge. And it is, in fact, the 48. So I hope you found the information in this video useful. I tried to cover the questions that I saw asked most commonly out there in forums and in YouTube comments. And I think we covered some really good subjects and gave you as much information as possible without making the video an hour long. So if you have any more questions, please leave them down below if they were not in the video. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, consider subscribing, and then that little alarm bell down at the bottom, if you click that, it'll let you know when I upload new content. In closing, I'm going to say this. If you're interested in these two guns, I highly encourage you to get your hands on them. There have been several people that I've read online who were not interested in them at all until they got their hands on them. And then they said, you know, I was wrong. They actually do make sense, and they feel nice, and they shoot nice also. Now, the flip side of that, I've seen a couple of people that said they were underwhelmed with them once they got them in hand. That's why we all have to do our due diligence and figure out what works for our needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.